Hello, everybody, and welcome to Passing Time Cast with Will and Dan, the podcast where we help you pass the time, whether that be with questions you send in or topics that we just continue to ramble on with and never answer a question. I'm one of your hosts, William Sal.
And I'm the other one, Dan Setterbree.
Dan, you look like a proud papa.
I did. I was. I like involuntarily kind of like raised up my hands because like right before I kind of like hinted at you. I kind of like pointed like, you did.
Try it on for size.
Oh man, this is a momentary. What? I don't know what other word I was gonna commit. Yeah. Wow. Great job. Good job. Sorry. I'm like a proud dad.
Man.
God. So Game of Thrones is done.
Threw you all out of whack. It is. Game of Thrones is done.
Yeah. So don't worry. No spoilers here. But it's it kind of sucked that last week. We did it like
a few hours before the episode came out.
Yeah, and we could have waited, but like our scheduling, whatever. But yeah, it's over. It's sad. Yeah, it's kind of a end of an era.
Yeah.
I feel like people weren't as happy with the ending, but
Yeah.
As I learned freshman year from my good buddy Steven, what he referred there's a difference between like everybody's happy at the ending and then like a good ending.
Yeah.
And he surely taught me that when he was like, Dan, you gotta go watch The Mist. It has a great or like a good ending or like I think he said a great ending, and I was like, okay. Yeah. And then did you ever see that movie?
I've never seen The Mist.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's got a great ending in quotes. But yeah, I'm kind of glad it's over.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised by anything.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Okay, because you told me actually after we recorded.
Yes.
That you had been spoiled,
and
right?
Yeah, everything that I read.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
But when I read them, I was like, okay. I mean, all of this makes sense from what I just watched the last episode.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like it makes logical sense, but like there was I don't want to give anything too much away, but like there was a diplomatic choice that was made that like I never would have thought would happen, and then anyway, it was good. I mean, for what it was, I mean, what they did with that show was great. I would definitely rewatch it because, like, I don't remember half the crap.
Yeah, I'll have to give it some time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
maybe a couple years from now, and then start from the beginning and watch like an episode every night or something.
Yeah, it's definitely like. Did you ever watch? I mean, I hate to compare this to this, but compare Game of Thrones to Lost. But did you ever watch Lost?
I never watched Lost.
Okay. So. A lot of people in the same way didn't like the ending, but I feel like definitely much more vocal about it. But like for what they did, but I feel kind of the same way, whereas like what they did, they did great narrative, like character arcs, and like they did great backstory, and like it was super interesting, but like but I feel like that ending wasn't as well received.
No. And I mean, I can understand that. I mean, but it's...
Yeah.
I don't know how they could have ended it and everybody be happy and it not be 12, 15 seasons long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, But I mean, hey, if they make an Arya spinoff, I'd watch the crap out of it.
I mean, I'll watch like any spinoff they do, I'd obviously watch.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
But who knows?
It's over now.
Yep.
See what we did there, Dad? We didn't do any spoilers.
Yep.
My dad doesn't listen to
Oh, okay. I didn't know if your dad had spoiled something for you.
No.
He ruined Toy Story 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. Okay. So, something that I kind of wanted to just kind of talk about real quick before I swear we're gonna get to a question. So just real quick. So like it was 2 Wednesdays ago that Stephen and Mallory moved out of their place, yep. And we were going through basically piles of like, do we want to donate this, or is this throwawayable because it's kind of either gross or disturbingly whatever. And so we were going through the piles, and like Stephen like got this thing, and he's like, oh, this thing, it's a again, this is not a sponsor, but it's this thing called a REME, like REMEE, but it's basically like a sleep mask, but it has like lights on it.
Okay. And
so it essentially it's supposed to quote unquote like train you to like be able to start. I always want to say REM sleep, but that's not what that is. Like lucid dreaming, okay. Like lucid dreaming. Oh. And so I feel like I never I mean, obviously every night you have dreams, but like, yeah. You never remember them. And so like, it's very rarely for me to like actually even remember my dreams. Yeah. And so I was like, oh dang, that's cool. And he's like, I think he was planning on donating, or like, I don't know, does somebody else want, like, it doesn't seem to me like Steven would be the kind of guy that would be like, I'm going to fly in my dream, or I don't know. Yeah. And so he was like, yeah, Dan, do you want it? I was like, okay. Like, kind of secretly, like how when you see something and then you really want it, and then and then when you have the opportunity to actually have it, you kind of have to act like you're like, I guess, yeah, sure. And I'm just like, yeah. Because, like, I don't know. I've always just been, like, really fascinated with it. And so I tried it both, like, when I took a nap and then when I slept, just to see, like, if there were different results. And so, like, apparently you can, like, set it to program at different intervals. So, like, every certain amount of time, like, there'll be, like, a red, like, yeah. Like not like it's not like a strobing thing where it's like it like wakes you up or it like kind of freaks you out, but it's like a very dim, or not dim, but it's like a very gradual like in and out. It's something
your brain is supposed to recognize that you were in a dream state.
Yeah. And so if you're like, I don't know, in your dream, and then I assume this hasn't happened to me, but it's like you would then I guess see red in your dream or something, and then you'd be like, oh shit, I'm dreaming. I'm gonna, I don't know, do whatever the fuck I want. And so like that hasn't happened to me yet. And to be fair, I've only worn it twice. But in my nap, I set it to be like, okay, I'm gonna take like an hour nap, and it's set to every 20 minutes at the nap level. And so I kind of just like laid there and like. And it basically like happened like 3 times, and so like I never actually like went to sleep as far as I could tell, because like nothing happened that I was aware of. And then like whenever it got to the 60-minute mark, I was like, okay, it's I should probably like get up to like get on with the fuck my day. And like I kind of couldn't move. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, am I dreaming, or is this whatever? And then I kind of felt like I don't know. It's weird because I've never really thought about like going to sleep and like what that like constitutes, because it's just you're closing your eyes and then you're thinking about stuff and then you just stop thinking. Like you never really like feel the going into the as Pete Holmes calls it, like sinking into the caramel, like you're like, oh, here I go. But like I felt that like immediately after, like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed, and I was like, oh shit, I can't move. and then I kind of felt like this overwhelming, like I don't know, like the best way that I can describe it is that way. Thanks, Pete Holmes. Is like slipping into like a caramel, and I was like, oh shit, and just like. I don't know. It like kind of terrified me to the point where I was like, oh shit. And I basically like force myself to wake up at that point.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying.
There are times if I try and fall asleep while I'm laying on my back,
Yeah.
as soon as I start to fall asleep, it'll feel like I'm falling.
Oh God.
And I immediately jerk up.
Yeah, and you're just like, do you sit up or do you? Oh, okay. Yep. So you don't just like
no,
kind
I
of
like
freak out
fully
and then,
sit up and then because I don't sleep on my back.
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
On your stomach?
Stomach.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep. Or side.
I'm always side. Yeah.
Stomach side, but never back. So it's like if I try to fall asleep like that, it always like not always.
Yeah.
But enough to where it's like I just don't do it because I know I'll wake up immediately as soon as I start to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's so like just being able to feel that like sensation of just like here I go. Yep. It just freaked me the fuck because like I don't know I always feel just like because just trying to think about it as like like what like the steps of like going to sleep is shutting your eyes, thinking, but like you can think while like you're about to fall asleep, but like the part that like I always am not conscious for is the part where I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
If that, I mean, obviously, but yeah, it kind of just freaked me the fuck out.
Sleeping is weird.
Yeah, sleeping is weird.
It's like you die for a little while.
Yeah. Just slip into nothingness, and then your brain plays movies that you're in.
Ooh.
That's another Pete Holmes thing. Sorry. But yeah. So that was just my little thing. I really didn't experience anything much when I like went to sleep and did it.
I imagine it would take a certain amount of time.
Yeah. It's just something that I'm like I was kind of terrified of.
Oh yeah.
Like after. I don't know. It's just like
I've never really been interested in it just because of like sleep paralysis, and I've had that a few times.
Oh really?
I have, yes.
Like you can't.
Yeah, like you can't.
Wait. So where like you wake up but you still like can't move?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird, and I've also had.
Is it like recently or is it like?
Not recently.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. The last time I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But
You blocked it out of your memory.
Yes, I blocked it out of my memory. But I have had, I don't know what it's called, but like I've called it layered dreaming, where I'll be asleep.
Like Inception.
Pretty much, where like you wake up from a dream and think you're awake, but you're still dreaming, and then you wake up again.
What was Leonardo DiCaprio
No,
there?
I wish it was interesting, but like I literally woke up. I think this would have been when I was in like high school or something.
Oh, okay.
Because I would like wake up. I would wake up from my dream and then proceed to like start my day. And then would wake up again, and I'd be like, "Oh no, I've already lived this day. I'm not going to school. I refuse."
Oh God, yeah. Man, did you then start to have a little thing that you would knock over or
nothing like that.
Yeah. One of the funny things, like in the pack, like in the little package thing. That's all it is. It's just like the sleep mask, but then like a little coin.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh fuck.
I mean, that's what they say. Like you could write like a number on your hand or like a pattern of dots, and if you look at it and you're dreaming, it's not there. You know that you're dreaming.
I mean, I should just do that. Just draw up. I don't know, like a Triforce on my hand.
Well, it's not
like,
there.
Oh, I'm no longer the hero of time. Okay, so we got some questions here. 14 minutes in. Okay, so this is from your pal Rawl. Thanks, Rawl. From the YouTubes. Question for both of you. Oh, thanks.
Thanks to include both of the hosts of the podcast that you're asking the question for.
Any interesting stories from learning how to drive, such as when you were in driver's ed or when you were physically driving? What? Or when you were physically driving? I don't know. Oh, like, okay, so like I guess in a driver's ed class or when you were actually driving. Did you ever take like driver's ed or anything?
I did. I took
okay.
The school I went to offered like an elective course for driver's ed.
Okay.
Where you could like take it as an elective and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I did the like the private it was one of this like another one of the PE coaches did it, but it was like,
oh, okay,
you go to the class on the weekend for 2 days, and then you drive with him for so many hours.
Oh,
and you
okay.
get your completion, your certificate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a requirement for getting your license early. Because I got my license when I was 15.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you didn't even have to go through the whole year of permit or whatever?
No, because if you held your permit for, at least in South Carolina, at least at the time, if you held it for 6 months with nothing, no tickets, no accidents or whatever, and you had taken a driver's ed course, you could get your provisional license or whatever. So you could just drive during the day.
Okay. Huh. That's cool. Yeah, because in Florida, so for those who don't know, I have no idea what driver's license procedures are outside of the U.S., but like at least in Florida, you get your learners at 15,
yep.
And then you at 16, whatever. So I ended up actually taking a driver's ed class like during the summer.
Yep.
So it was essentially like my summer school. I was like, this sucks.
Yep.
But the thing is that like I don't remember exactly how long it was, but it was like for like a few hours a day for like 2 weeks or something like that. And half of it was in the class and half of it was on this big it was actually like at my high school. And the point of it was it wasn't like you can get it early. The point was you don't have to take the test. When you turn 16, you can just hand them these papers, and they're like, here you go. So, like, realistically, I just took the test early, technically. Like, it was a thing that you actually had to pass. It wasn't like, whatever. So, I didn't even get it early, but I just didn't have to, deal with a, like a quote-unquote official person with, like, a clipboard being like,
so you didn't have to go drive with somebody from the DMV.
Well, definitely not for the DMV. For it was with people. Like I'm pretty sure they actually like worked at the high school, but like I'm sure that they had their certifications or whatever. But like, it wasn't anything.
Yeah, 'cause that was something in South Carolina. You still had to like go with whoever the instructor, like not the instructor, but whoever was gonna like approve.
Oh.
You had to do a driving test.
Oh, okay.
So, that was, I don't think I, like, breathed the entire time. I was so nervous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And at one time I thought I had failed when I was doing parallel parking.
I thought you were going to say passed out.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I thought I had failed when doing the parallel parking because I hit the curb or whatever, but apparently that was not an auto fail.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, you haven't failed yet. Make sure you use your turn signal. I was like, okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, So the thing that I was the worst at was parallel parking, and I feel like that's probably like everybody's thing. But I remember the day that we actually like every day or two we would have like an official test. Like you could have like a day or so to like practice, but then there's the day where like you have to like prove to us that you can do this without hitting the cones or whatever. Because there's essentially just like a big parking lot. It was actually like fenced in. There was like maybe like a half dozen cars at least. And so, and there were actually two groups of people or two classes or whatever. So like we would alternate when we were driving around. The others were like in the classroom learning or taking quizzes or whatever. And so like, the day that we were supposed to do parallel parking, there was different cars. It wasn't just like one car. There was like, There was like a normal quote unquote car. There was like an SUV, and then there was like this F-150 or whatever, like this huge truck. And like I knew that I wasn't going to be getting like a huge car. And the day, and it was basically just like randomly assigned. And so like the day that they were like, all right, you're going to do parallel parking, and they're like, all right, Dan, and you get the F-150. And I was like, shit. And so needless to say, I totally fucked that whole thing up, and I was like, oh shit. And so like I eventually got it, and then then pulled back out and around to like the front, and like got out, and they're like, okay, well, Dan, so do you want to redo that? They're like, do you want to redo that? I was like, I'm probably just gonna get like a car. Can I just read it? They're like, okay. And so they let me do it in the car. And then I then did it like basically almost perfectly. And then like I remember like one of the ladies, like I could see out the window, like whenever I did it correctly, she like kind of like she was like, yay! I was like,
so proud of you.
I was like, and then yeah, that was essentially the thing that was like they were like, I don't know if we're gonna let him, because I seriously almost hit like every cone, because the thing was like 20.
See, the driving I had to do with my driver's ed instructor was mainly just like,
yeah,
you would do parallel parking and like all that kind of stuff at the end. But like, because you had to drive with him for like 3 or 4 days and a few hours after school every time.
Yeah.
So that was when we did it. So I'd get up, I'd get off school at, like, say get off school, like get off work. But like school let out at like, a little after 3.
Yeah.
So from like that time until like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, I would just drive around with this dude.
Yeah.
One time we had to drive out to the middle of nowhere to meet his mother-in-law to pick up a laptop or something that was for his daughter or something. I was like, I have no idea where we're at.
God.
But yeah, we would just drive around.
I don't know where we are.
Trying to make small talk with, he's trying to make small talk.
Like what did he tell you? He was like, oh hey, we got to stop by my house to go.
No, it was a gas station in the middle of nowhere. I guess it was like halfway between where she lived and halfway from where we were. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was, and prior to that, that was like, I had driven with my parents a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
But like you were supposed to have a certain amount of hours drive time in before you started. And he was like, so how much driving have you done? I said, a good bit. I had like driven like twice with my permit.
Oh my God.
Yep. But I passed it on the first try, so.
God. I remember the first time like getting on the highway was terrifying because like going that fast and then just being able to like, hey, if I just like sneeze or just like jerk my hand, like I can kill us all. Yeah. Do you remember the first time ever like getting onto a highway? Or I don't know. It's terrifying. It's just the prospect of like you're giving. I mean, no offense, listeners, if you're 15 or not, but a couple of shitheads.
Yeah.
Like a few ton machine that you can just do whatever you want with.
I think that's why you get your driver's license at that age.
Yeah.
Because if you waited until you were an adult, you'd be like, I'm good.
Be like, I'm good.
No thanks.
I can get an Uber. I can pay for this.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a okay. I don't know if I should tell it. Oh, don't tell it. Who cares? There was actually a girl in our class because the way that the thing was set up was that like basically 2 people in each car. And so the person, like every car actually had like a brake on the passenger side. Yeah. Because they were like the special kind of cars. And instead of like an instructor, it was like another one of our students. Wow. Yeah. So like looking back on it now, I'm like, that wasn't because obviously like of course there were people like fucking with like your driving or whatever, and so like we would basically spend like half the time one person would drive and then the other person would drive during the time that we were outside, and so. And so they were also like randomly assigned who you were going to be like riding with. Yeah. And of course, like there's the freaking asshole that like you don't want to be with. But like there was this girl in the class that I was like, oh, she's so freaking cute. And like she's, whatever. Yep. And like, there was actually a day I was like, oh God, I just want to, like, I know this is weird. I was a freshman. This was also a weird time for anybody, but especially for me. I was like, oh God,
because I could just drive with her. That would be the best.
No, like seriously, like God, this is so embarrassing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. This is why this is I don't know. I just want to get this out there just so I can just like whatever. I literally was like, oh, please God, just no. What was weird was that day, like I don't know, I only did it once when I was like, oh dear God, like just please, like she's so freaking cute, and like I just want to be near her, and so like, and like that day they're like, okay, and Dan and what's her face, and I was like, oh shit, I was like.
I leapt to my feet and I cheered. And then they asked me to leave.
They asked me to leave, and they kicked me out. No, but like, yeah, I just remember just like, oh my God. And then, of course, nothing happened because it never does.
Because it's a driver's ed class.
Yeah, because it's a driver's ed class. And also, I'm me. So, but anyway, yeah, that was like one of the only like memorable parts of that whole like 2 weeks. But yeah, I got to ride with the girl that I like.
Got to show her my moves behind the wheel.
Oh God.
I'm gonna drift it. I'm gonna drift it.
Dan, I noticed you hit 12 cones on the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's gonna be it.
We got one question.
We got one question this week. Yeah, if you want to send a question, like like okay, this isn't gonna be like an every week. I mean, sure, the last 2 weeks we've been just like talking and shit, and in the last 2 weeks we only answered one question. But hey, we're gonna answer more frequently questions. Yep. So if you want to send us a question, do that at passingtimecast@gmail.com, or leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube, or hashtag passingtimecast. We've been I wouldn't say that we're low on questions, but like I feel like in the last couple weeks we haven't been really, and that's probably my fault for talking so goddamn much. But I mean, we're gonna answer them. So if like seriously anything, we did get our first like actual like quote unquote advice question, which is something that like we've been kind of wanting to do more of. So we're gonna be doing that next week. So it's a teaser.
Little teaser.
And it's
teaser. Sink your teeth into that one, folks.
But yeah, it's yeah. So
hopefully it's not like time sensitive.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, it kind of is.
Should I call the ambulance?
No. Oh God, it's not that urgent, but it's enough where like we could have done it this week, but I was like, yeah, whatever. So anyway, yeah. So do that. You know, if you want to ask us stupid questions, or you know, you want to. That's stupid. I didn't mean that, everybody. Sorry, Brenda. But you know, some of the questions that we get are funny and ridiculous, and some of them are sincere, and then some of them are, you know, like more like hypothetical, or you know, and so to get like a quote unquote advice, not that we're seriously any kind of I don't know, would you say like worthy of giving advice, but it's nice that people want to hear what we have to think about a situation. But yeah, so if you liked our intro song, that was I've Been Seeing Things by They Might Be Giants, go check them out. And did I miss anything, Will?
Nope. Bye, Brenda.
Merch.
Merch.
Go look it up.
Yep, clothe yourselves and
put yourselves
inside of our clothes. Okay, I'm done.
Bye, Brenda.
Bye, Brenda.